Here we are at the Victori Mo Gallery in Chelsea, New York. And right as you walk in the two front doors, you quickly see a very modest exhibition sign. But what's really powerful is that you see Bren's work immediately before you enter the main space of the gallery. And Bren, how big is this artwork?
This piece is about 60 inches wide by about maybe 40 inches tall.
And can you just quickly tell us a little bit about the context for this piece right here?
Sure, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so for those of you who have not watched the other video with my artwork in it, I used to work at UC Davis, and in, I think it was 2011, they called all the first year medical students into the auditorium, as well as the staff, and the police department gave us a description of what to do if someone comes in and tries to kill all of us. And at the end, they gave us a handy little card, which I actually have right here and I'm holding up. It's about maybe a 3x5 card or so. And when I got the card, I just thought to myself, this is kind of crazy. Like, I'm gonna whip out this card if someone comes in and tries to kill me. And it just got me thinking, just how do we get to this place in society where it's okay to go in and kill people and no one really questions it? And the onus is placed on the victim not to get killed. I see parallels with this with rape victims. The onus is on them not to get raped rather than on the man not to rape the woman. For example, with the current situation now in the US, in terms of police relations with African Americans, the onus is on the African American to act a certain arbitrary way that they don't really know how they're supposed to act in order not to get killed. So I see many parallels in American society. During the training, I remember they did play the 911 call for Columbine, which is back about 10 years prior or so. This was one of the, this is the first I ever heard of school shooter trainings. And they gave us this complex card, like I said, but in recent years, the trainings I think have become more streamlined, and they tell us to run first. If you can't do that, then you hide. And if you can't do that, then you fight.
And do you know if in any of those subsequent trainings that they've started to address the problems of what inspires people to go on these rampages at all, or are they still putting the onus on the potential victims of it?
The last one I went to was about 2 years ago at UC San Francisco, and the onus still was on the victim. And interestingly enough, during that one, this woman said, well, this really just stresses me out. She didn't use that term, but she talked about how stressful it was just to attend the training. Thinking back to that first one in 2011, no one really said anything during that training. I think the medical students, I can understand why they didn't say anything, because they were new students and they know they're always being watched. Students, like everything they do. The staff, I know I was kind of like, what? Sometimes in the moment, I kind of have shock and I don't really say anything, and it's later that I process what's going on.
And did you get a chance to talk to any students or other school staff to get a sense of how they felt like afterward? Like, I wonder if this might ostracize people who might need help a little bit more, so that they aren't a harm to themselves or to other people, or if it causes sort of like a pre-trigger in other people. It's an interesting psychology as to what this sort of training would inspire in other people.
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting enough, I didn't talk to anyone. I just kind of kept it in my head. But staff with whom I've worked, they said, oh my God, I love that piece. And I don't think love because it's such a great topic, but I think it resonates with them.
Yeah. What do people usually say when they see this artwork?
It's mixed, which ties in with what I was saying earlier about people either love my work or they hate it. Some people are like, oh, that's so relevant. It makes me so sad. I remember it was at a gallery in Roseville, which is outside of Sacramento in California. And someone told me that this woman was so mad that it was there. I think in that case, it was kind of a denial of what's going on, people wanting to whitewash what's going on.
Well, let me go a little further into the gallery to look at your other artwork that's on view. Oh, so one of the things that I really like, as soon as you walk in the door, is my artwork. And so I think it puts your artwork, it starts to tell a story within the gallery, and that's courtesy of the co-curator Celine Mo. I think there's like a really visceral reaction from seeing this, what's supposed to be a preventative measures, to then actually seeing the object, and then to the right, you see Erica Diamond's Kevlar vest that's meant to protect people. There's like a real narration that's happening between the different artworks and the objects going on. So that
Yeah.
is your other artwork. In stitching all these active shooter training tutorials, do you have any suggestions on improving some of the material?
One is they could perhaps address the underlying problem of gun violence in the US. Uh, they could talk about, here's, I guess, where I get into the political. I know in Canada in April they had that mass shooting, and then I think within 2 weeks they banned assault style rifles.
Mhm.
Um, so that might help that, help make the situation better. But in the meantime, until they get, until that happens, how can they make the trainings better? Um, I think they could possibly talk about identifying people who might be potential killers. Again, this places the onus on the victim to identify the killer. I think just have these open, frank discussions about gun violence.
I do think if they're going to do training like this, perhaps start the whole thing with uh, offering emotional support and outlets to those who might feel prone to violence, or are feeling low, whatever the emotions are that sort of lead up to these violent moments, and to give, not only to say we're here for you, but to say here are these resources that you can reach out to, either in person or anonymously. We're here to support you, because somewhere in the audience is someone who probably just needs an outlet of support, whether or
Mhm.
not, and they're probably not prone to a violent act in the future, but just need some help in general. I guess that would be my suggestion. That is a really great insight into your work, and I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for letting me chat about my work. I appreciate it.
No, it was great learning about it, and I'm so happy to like talk to another cross stitch artist. That's a really special. There aren't that many of us.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
I'm sure we could get really nerdy about it for a long time, and maybe that's another video. But thank you so much. And other than at the Victori Mo Art Show, Arm Disposal, where can people find you and see more of your artwork?
Well, I have my website, brenahearn.com. Bren Ahearn is also my Facebook and Instagram handle. And I also will have some pieces in the Pride show in Minneapolis in June. And Erica Diamond, the person who did the Kevlar vests in the Victori Mo show, she will have some pieces there too.
Mm, great. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for being part of the show. You really made it like a powerful experience. And please go check it out, everyone. You can check out the 3D version on Artland. So thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye.